Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
That's a warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Titanic Belfast, to this press conference by Top Rank to celebrate really Michael Conlan's decision, excellent decision, to sign a professional contract with Top Rank. To my right is Ted DeBow, President of Top Rank here in Belfast for the first time. Michael Conlan. Man of the moment, Michael Conlan. And his manager, Macklin. Very civilised for a boxing crowd, isn't it? Very civilised for a boxing crowd. Todd, first of all, everybody wants to know, what is it that you saw in Michael? Top Rank has been associated with some incredible names, some tremendous names over the years. What is it that you saw in Michael?
You know, first of all, it's a pleasure really to be here. This is my first time to Ireland, my first time to Belfast, and just seeing the roads and everything were quite beautiful. It's interesting, boxing is a very episodic sport. You find that, you know, people come around, I remember it was what's going to happen with Mike Tyson, who's the next? Then it's Oscar De La Hoya, who's the next? And over the years, Top Rank has been associated with some of the biggest athletes in the sport, from Ali to Sugar Ray Leonard, from Martin Hagler, to De La Hoya to Mayweather. And we look for two things, ability and marketability. And he has both. And this was probably the biggest launch for us to take somebody who was not American born or Hispanic born, and take somebody who has a very rich culture in Europe and move them to the United States. And we feel, and we really believe, this is an important part for a revival of American boxing. Classy, excellent boxer, and the publicity after the Olympics just blew me away. So he's just, you know, he has everything going forward. He has all the attributes to be a superstar, and we really believe we can do it.
Madison Square Gardens, St. Patrick's Day weekend, New York. It writes itself, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it totally does. But this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not one event. And that's what we have always believed in. Each fight, each night, each day is just one piece to the whole body of work, almost like an artist. And so that's just one fight, but there's going to be a lot of stories, there's going to be a lot of action, there's going to be a lot of training, there's going to be a lot of everything that he and Matthew are going to bring to the table is over a long period of time.
Matthew, I'm going to bring you in at this moment. You've just closed the door on a 15-year journey in boxing. How well equipped do you feel to help guide Michael through this journey?
Well, my career, to anyone who followed it, was a real roller coaster. Probably, I had 3 stints with Frank Warren. I was with Lou DiBella for a few years out in America. I was, boxed in Germany. I finished my career with Eddie Hearn in the Matchroom. So, and I always kind of handled my own affairs, rightly or wrongly. But I learned the business as I went along, and to kind of pick up everything I've learned along the way, to not be able to pass it on to someone, be a waste really. And I feel that I do understand the business side of boxing, but definitely understand the sporting side, the training side. So Michael's someone that I remember watching him in the London Olympics, and over here in Ireland, John Neville won the silver medal, and Katie Taylor stole the show really. But for me, the standout fighter was Michael. He was only 20 years old, had that kind of cheeky personality, and a really exciting style to watch. He had great body shots, he had real good head movement, and you didn't really see that so much in the amateur game, especially with the way the point scoring system had gone, even though they've gone back to the manual now with the there was a while there, it took me 20 years really for it to really get on about this computer scoring, and but for me, Mick had a real professional style, and I just thought that he had a really bright future, and you know, just as a fan and as a friend, really, I just stayed in touch with him, wished him well, that kind of thing, and then as by the time the next Olympics had come on, I was already managing his brother Jamie and some of his friends, and it was, I suppose it was a natural relationship really, and I'm very proud of what he achieved as an amateur, proud of to be kind of guiding that in his professional career, really excited about his future.
Michael, how do you feel sitting up here announcing your professional contract and debut? And do you feel like it's been a long time coming, or where's the timing for you?
No, I feel it's unbelievable that Rice turned out here today, and thank you for coming. But for me, it's came at the right time. I think if I had went pro after London, it would have been too soon. So, you know, to stay around the amateur game, get a lot more experience and a lot more publicity and stuff. So, I think I've turned over at the right time. We've turned over with the best team in MGM and Top Rank. You know, there's not a better setup for me to be a part of, and I'm delighted to be on this journey with these team of people who have brought people from Olympic level to world champions. Top Rank do it time and time again. And when I started working with Matthew, that's all he kept saying to me was the exact same thing we'll say there now is Top Rank always achieve, and they always have against the world champions. And for us, it was an easy decision to make.
What are you expecting with turning pro in terms of the discipline and how things will change for you in the ring?
I don't expect much to change at my stay. Just a bit more stamina, I need to actually for longer rounds and sitting there in my shots a bit more. But for me, I've been training like a professional for the last, load of years with the Irish setup. We train every single day, twice a day, and it's going to be the same. I'm going to be as dedicated as I always have been, and aiming for the highest achievements I can, which would be multi-weight world champion, and that's what I believe will be.
Todd, I'm sure many people in this room hit Skyscanner as soon as the date was announced. What would you tell us about tickets?
Well, we just know you better show up quickly when we decide to put them on sale, because I've been in the business since 1993, and we've signed a lot of athletes, and it may be a little bit of a phenomenon on social media, but I've never seen the response that we got from social media the minute we announced the signing of Michael Conlan. Ever. And that includes every signing we've had. And the messages and attribution, global sensation of the sport, and an incredible attraction of what he's going to be. So all I can say is, when we're ready to announce ticket prices and when they're going to be, we better get them quick, because everybody's tweeted us or Instagrammed us that they're going to be there.
But I mean, that's so different these days, isn't it? You've mentioned Sugar Ray Leonard, 50 years in Top Rank's history, involved in the first fight with Muhammad Ali. That was his first fight that they organised. Do you think that it's a lot easier to create stars in a short space of time now with social media?
I feel like I'm on a media technology panel here. That's a very sophisticated question, but I'll say this. Yes and no, all right? Yes, because I can talk to all of you guys very quickly. But that doesn't mean I'm going to respond in the social media, but I talk quickly through Twitter, through Instagram. Michael can talk back to you. We can all get to you very closely. But no, because there is so much content that is out there. So when we go back and we talk about, Sugar Ray Leonard in 1976, let's use that as an example. In America, there were 3 networks. There was ABC, NBC, and CBS, and maybe an independent. So that's all you had was 3 options to choose from. So everybody's appetite was very consolidated into 3. If we turn on the television today, in any country, I just came from a hotel, anywhere, you have hundreds of channels. So it's very sliced up. So yes, we can get to you on a global level easier, but no, it's a very crowded space. So you really have to hit the mark.
So what do you think in terms of the build-up for the date in March? What are you expecting? What kind of buzz do you anticipate?
This is, I'm into, but there's a lot of things that, as a pro debut, that he's going to experience. And it's his pro debut. And that's different than any other fight you're going to have. And I say that because in 1996, there was a little kid that got in the ring in an outside arena in Las Vegas and just was blazing hand speed and moved and darted in and out. And the first thing he did, he looked at me and he said, "Man, I got no headgear and those gloves are small." And that fighter was Floyd Mayweather. So even he, as great as people say he is, he knew the difference. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on him because of his pro debut. I want him to get it past him. I want to get that fight past himself. I want him to feel comfortable, calm, relaxed, because his career is over a long body of work.
Michael, you've made a decision now to move stateside with a young family. Was that difficult?
Not really. Sean, my partner, and my baby, they were more than willing to come along. I says I would just go for training camps and come home, but they says no, I need to come out for full time with you because no one knew, talking to me, that I would miss them. So, and I really would. I would miss them if I was away for so long. So the fact that they're coming in is going to make it a lot easier. Just to be able to go training and come back to the family and just have family time, relaxed time, and not have boxing on the mind all the time. So for them to be there, it's going to be a bit special, and it's going to be a journey together.
Yeah, Wayne McCulloch said something similar. He was terrified when he first moved over.
Really?
Yeah, but had his family there, or had his girlfriend at the time there, and that made all the difference.
I wouldn't say I'm terrified. I say I'm really excited. I'm moving to LA. I'm living in Belfast, where the weather is always either raining or windy. And I'm going to LA, which is going to be sunny most of the year round. So it's something I'm really looking forward to, and a change of lifestyle is something different.
I'm going to open the floor to a few questions from the media, if that's all right. Guys, do you have any questions?
You mentioned that there are social media and you mentioned that there's pressure in America. What makes you think that Michael's not to attract attention?
Well, this was a big conversation we had in our office. And we're very fortunate at Top Rank because we do have a reputation that we're offered a lot of guys. We're offered guys from all over the world. And the question is how selective we want to be, because we can't put all of our energy, and I'm not going to do it. And I really felt, and a couple of the guys in my office felt, this was an important move because we in America have not had a white guy that speaks English. And I really mean that. It's not a racial thing. It's not racial at all. It's that the sport in America, we lost that culture to football, baseball, basketball. They're in different scholastic athletes. So we're getting inner city urban kids, a lot of Hispanic kids, and the white guys that are in America fighting are usually Eastern European. So for us, this was very important. And I think that when you see the Irish cultures that exist throughout the East Coast and all over, their name is Irish. That's all it is. We really believe that he could be that person that could represent something, speak to the public, get a following that would be greater than anything we've seen in a long time. And he has the personality to do it. I think in a way, a little of the Conor McGregor has kind of been fun for us to watch, even though it's a different sport. And he's got a spicy personality, I would say. I'm not asking Michael to have that spicy personality, but I think it's a good thing to look at. And I think as somebody in the business of building properties or brands, you have to look at all sports, you have to look at all athletes, and I think that also added a bit to the equation.
Looks so innocent. Anyone else?
No, after what happened in the Olympics, I thought that it would have kind of brought my value down, but with my reaction, it obviously didn't. So, right after the fight, I was devastated in the scene. It's probably one reason I reacted because I knew what kind of was ripped away from me then. Everything was kind of laid ahead, but luckily enough it didn't, and Brian came knocking and we answered the door.
So just how long have you been for top ranking? Obviously, things like that will happen after the Olympics, but I think you know the radar before that as well.
After the London Olympics, he was on my radar. Kind of, I saw, and I just saw somebody, and I was wondering if he was going to go pro. That was the real, the real play after London. The amateur system is kind of dormant, not us really getting information between the two times. Honestly, I threw in the towel a little bit because I felt that he was almost like it was a fait accompli. He was going to stay here, and that was the truth. I really did. Regardless of what happened in the Olympics, it was like the market in England and Ireland was doing terrific. I felt like it was a long shot, and I was almost defeated still. But I always looked at it. My guys, they see what's going on. They see the tournaments. So he's been on the radar screen, but it was one of those things I wish I could get, but I'm not in that type of scenarios.
Never really believed that it was, because the scene in the UK is so strong. Did you ever think that maybe going to become a reality?
It wouldn't have been because of the scene where I didn't think it was going to become reality. It was because I was saying I have a young family and I don't really want to move shop. But I looked and we looked at our options, and that was the best option. So it was an easy choice to make. But at one stage, I thought there was no point in me going away. I have enough at home here, enough opportunities at home. But the biggest one was abroad, and that's why we took it.
Can I touch on that for a moment? And I really want to do this. When I talked to Matthew about this, and then he got Michael on the phone, and I was very passionate about this. I said, guys, I want to turn this business upside down. I want to start with America, because that's the heavy lifting. That's where the real business will become. But what happens is this dynamic is people get very successful in their home countries, and then they try to come to America much later. It's a crowded space there. And I said, let's turn this whole dynamic upside down. Let's start in America. We can continually be feeding and getting your home country with events here, but we really need to do the heavy lifting starting from groundwork. And to our pleasure, they got it. They understood it. And kudos to them, because that is a big, big Herculean task to understand that we're going to turn the model upside down. It's rather disruptive.
Just on that, sorry, when you say, sort of feeding stuff back, what is the plan to sort of keep an Ireland in contact, or fights here, maybe even TV here, and turn that on the press conference here as well?
Yeah, I'm actually here. I'm not a hologram, right? Listen, this is his roots. All right. Whenever we have built a star, a fighter to be, we start at home. This is where it starts. I mean, you always have that home product. So going into this, we had conversations about how many fights a year, how many fights would be in Ireland, and we're going to morph that the whole way. Obviously, we plan on every fight being televised here. We plan on doing local fights here, at least one a year, maybe more, depending on how the market is and how we feel, how quickly he wants to get going back. So this is still the home. But when I talk the heavy lifting, if he stays here and time goes by, and now we go 3 years, 4 years later, it's going to be really tough, right? Because he almost starts as a prospect all over again in a big market. That's not what's going to happen. We're going to start today. And that's what I meant by switching it upside down.
Speaking of fights and announcements, has he told you about Casement Park yet?
Yeah.
Have you mentioned Casement
No,
Park?
I haven't mentioned it yet, no.
Oh,
Mafia for the more way.
we want to do this right now.
No, he's already getting the dream. Professional debut at Madison Square Garden on St Patrick's Day for any Irish fighter, and then I suppose ultimately the dream then is to win a world title and to bring it back here and defend it in Casement Park. So, when obviously he was saying, I'm hoping that Carl Frampton was still around to it. If he fight for the world title.
We do the right thing. We don't need Carl Frampton. He'll be around. He's this guy. Don't worry about it. We're not chasing him. It's the Hall here.
Michael, can I just ask a question about your training setup?
Yeah.
You mentioned like obviously you're based in LA. Can you tell us a little bit more about your training? Is it Manny Robles? Are you going to get good sparring out there?
Yeah, well, that's who I've got in mind at the minute. So me and Mafia are going to head out in November here and catch up with him and do some training and see what it's going to be like. But yeah, because of the sparring in the gym, and you know, there's a lot of young champions in there and a lot around my weight, which suits me. You know, I think sparring partners are a big part of success, and I'll have the best sparring partners in the Rock Gym.
And Jason Keighley's about as well, so...
Yeah, so I'll have a friend there as well. I'll not be sparring Jason, no way. But you know, I'll have him as a friend out there, and you know, there'll be a bit of company in the gym.
Obviously, with St Patrick's Day all going well, how quickly can you move? Because you've obviously got the fighter and the speed, but it's that, so get out there.
Yeah, well, we're going to leave it up to Top Rank. You know, they've got the best matchmakers in the business, and they know how quickly I'll be able to move, or if I'm not going to move as quickly, they'll know. So, you know, we'll see after the first fight and see how things are going. But you know, I'm ready for anything. If we want to move quickly, I can move quickly.
Two more questions for me, again?
Today there's a lot of young fighters here, amateur fighters guys who were in the program. You were now to what advice would you give those guys? You know, after the way you left the amateur setup, what advice would you give them? Because obviously the feelings after the Olympics were here, but what advice would you give those guys now?
My advice to all the young guys here who are still in the amateur setup is to stay amateurs for a good amount of years still. These are all young and they've still got a lot of learning to do. I was in the amateur setup, in the senior setup for the last 7 to 8 years, and I've been boxing for 17 years or 18 years in total. So, you know, I think staying amateur is probably one of the most important things in getting the international experience and fitting against men, because you're coming up from a young age and then you're jumping in the senior level, which are against fellas who are probably 10 years, 7 years older than you. So I think staying around it and getting experience with them guys is very important.
Can I just ask Matthew a question, please? Matthew, regarding all the fighters you're signing obviously in Dublin and Belfast, are there any plans in the future to maybe create some kind of Belfast base or anything like that?
Oh, well, we're doing a show here next week with Jamie Conlan, hopefully he'll be fighting for world title soon, and Paddy Barnes will make his professional debut on that. So, you know, hopefully BoxNation can come back, keep their regular shows, and hopefully Jamie can win a world title, and bring Tom Boxer back into Belfast and keep it here.
Paddy Barnes not here from the Irish shows today, is he? I saw on Twitter he was going to cause some stir with a couple of questions. Good, okay. Very stir. Do you want to ask anything? Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for attending. Visual broadcast one-on-ones will be done at the backdrop, just at the rear of the room, followed by radio. Thanks very much.